Welcome to Tactical Reviews, and here we're having a look at the lionSTEEL H1, a design by Tommaso Rumici, and this is actually a knife that's been at a show, so there may be a few minor imperfections in the finish, and I'm also showing it here with the optional Kydex sheath that's available separately. So it's supplied with a leather sheath as standard. You can see the Kydex option makes that quite a bit more compact. And a small torque wrench screwdriver tool. And the H1. So there is also an H2 with a different blade shape. Same handle, same sheath and so on, but it's just a different blade shape. So what I'll do in just a moment is zoom in to give us a closer look at the details of everything here. Just before we do that, clearly this is quite a different style of knife and handle, and we have what looks very much like a karambit grip ring, which in fact it kind of is. And one of the major differences is that instead of having that claw shaped karambit blade, we have a sort of Warncliffe style, much more standard blade shape. And in fact the intention is, yes, the ring can act as a grip ring, extra security of the grip, ease of withdrawal from the sheath, especially if we look at the Kydex. But also you don't need to have a finger through the grip ring. This handle is perfectly usable, and that is the intent, that you don't always have a finger in the grip ring. Still extremely comfortable, and it just changes the handling, gives you a bit more flexibility. So with this sheath you do have the sort of standard belt loop option, horizontal belt loops, and an optional Kydex sheath. So now we're coming much closer. Let's just take a look around the Kydex option. keeping the sheath much more compact. with the Kydex, the clip action for holding the blade, drainage hole, hollow rivets, and movable horizontal belt loops. You can move them around. With the tool we can undo the bolts and reposition as required, so a lot of flexibility for personal choice. And the H1 in its standard leather sheath. Probably see there, this blade is in M390. The designer's logo. And this is the black G10 handle option. There are several other choices. Extremely elegant small knife. And now we're going to move on to detailed technical specifications. And we're back now with the lionSTEEL H1 to go through the detailed technical measurements. And we do have two sheath options, so I'll add an extra measurement just to compare those. First up is the full weight with sheath, the standard leather sheath. So 191.6 grams. And with the Kydex option, 149.7 grams. And the knife on its own, 105 grams. Okay, so back into the sheath. And we're looking at the overall sheathed length, which is 202 millimeters. So it's an interesting shaped sheath with two wide points. I think this will be the widest. And that is 65 millimeters. Just going to compare. We have a thickness here and a thickness there. 38.6, which is actually widest, but that loop is a bit springy, so from the closure popper to the back was 36.6 millimeters. So length of the H1 is 185 millimeters. Blade length 79 millimeters. The gently contoured handle is thickest in the center there, and that's 14.7 millimeters. Handle depth on this, normally I find a widest point, but we have the ring going to take the depth where the finger shaping is, which is 25.2. I'll check the balance point. Which is 104 millimeters from the point. Blade thickness 3.6 millimeters. Grind looks to be flat, which it is. Grind length 24.7, and at the same position, the blade depth 27.3. So the angle of the primary bevel which is 7 degrees and 30 minutes. Factory edge bevel angles. Okay, need a bit less light. So right hand angle 24 degrees, left hand angle 23 degrees. Point angle, which is 55 degrees. thickness behind the edge, so I use the metal calipers. It's 0.61 millimeters. Our rake on this knife is interesting because everything is a curve. Blades curving back up, handles curving down. What to say? So you can make your own mind up. Straight edge going through the two handle bolts. I'm going to take this part of the handle as the reference line and then the blade angle. For this measurement, you can make of that what you will. So which would give a rake of 15 degrees. One way or another, this is not a straight knife, so you may have to make your own judgment on that. Okay, now I'm going to measure the factory edge that is on here. This knife has been to, I believe, SHOT Show and IWA, so it's been handled a lot, and I have no idea at this point what condition that factory edge is in. So let's see. M390. Hopefully people have been careful, not banged it into the glass cabinets too much, but who knows. Here we go. So center sharpness. $247. Heel sharpness. $261. And tip sharpness. 382. So that is the detailed technical measurements of the lionSTEEL H1. Thanks for joining me. Get informed, be prepared, stay sharp.